Contact the professionals over at Marcus Mounts for all your TV mounting and assembly needs. The Upstate's #1 mounting company with over 4,000 TVs installed. Clean, precise, and affordable. Marcus Mounts TV Mounting Company. Contact us today for an online or over the phone quote.
Welcome to the Cross the Line Podcast. My name is Carlos Smith, and today's episode is sponsored by Big Ben's Desserts and Marcus Mounts. We have two very special guests with us today. We have Miss Teen Jonesville, Miss Zahmariya Littlejohn, and also Palmetto State star, Miss Layla Hughes-Woods. How are you ladies doing?
Awesome.
Good. Thank y'all for joining me today. I'm super excited to have y'all.
Thank you.
So I said I was trying my best not to say your nickname. I'm trying not to say it.
It's okay.
But how excited are you for the Miss SC Teen Pageant?
I am so excited. This is the second big pageant that I'll be doing. So last year I did the Miss Teen USA pageant. So I'm really ready for this next step in my pageant journey. Really excited. Met a lot of great girls. Just ready to experience the experience, you know?
Absolutely. Miss Layla, how excited are you to, see Miss Zahmariya go to the pageant? How excited are you to see her?
A lot.
A lot? What's your favorite thing to do, being with Miss Zahmariya? What's your favorite thing? What has she taught you?
Everything.
Everything? Do these type of events, I know you said this is going to be your second big one, but are they stressful for you, or is it something that you just really enjoy?
I wouldn't say stressful. I do get very anxious though leading up to the pageants, like big events in general. I've been doing competition dance since I was 6 years old, and I still get the same amount of nervousness every time I go on stage. So I wouldn't say stressful, but I'm very anxious, ready to get there, ready to get on stage, you know.
Do you know any of the other contestants already? Do you have any type of relationships with any of them?
Yes, I do. I met a lot of girls at Workshop Weekend, which is why I love this organization, because we have the opportunity to go down to Columbia for a weekend and kind of meet all the delegates, conversate with them, make relationships, friendships. And one of the girls, Bella, she is Miss Spirit of Chesney's teen, and we have created an amazing bond. Like, we've been talking, and we were also both camp counselors at this camp that I was recently at this past week, and we conversated a lot. We've just been having a lot of fun together, talking regularly, stuff like that.
Talk a little bit about the preparation and what goes into being a Miss Teen Jonesville and going into the Miss Teen South Carolina. Talk about the preparation process of all it.
It's a lot of stuff to prepare for. So specifically, you have to know all your wardrobe. There's this portion in the portal that we use that has all this information for the pageant. You have to have all your wardrobe, list that, everything you're pretty much going to be using, like props and stuff for your talent portion, really everything that you're going to need the whole pageant week, and put that in there. And I would also say that this is kind of preparation for pageant week, because I'm going to have to do something called an on-stage interview, and I feel like, these on-site questions are really helping me prepare for that interview and my private interview.
Because I know it's Miss Teen Jonesville, but how does that name come about when it's you go to school at Union High School, but how does it go about? Do they give you an option saying Miss Teen Jonesville or Miss Teen Union? Like, how did you come about, representing Jonesville? Which, I'm all for.
So, one of the other delegates, she was already going at large for Union, but I knew that I wanted to represent somewhere that I had been from, or that I had family from. So, I'm born and raised in West Springs, so deep down in there. Yep. And Jonesville, some of my folks are from Jonesville, so I wanted to represent somewhere where people knew me and I knew my people. So even though I didn't get to do Union, I also got to represent Jonesville. And I like to say that Union and Jonesville are kind of connected, because, once you graduate from Jonesville Middle School, everybody collides at Union County High School. So
do you get the question, like I always do when I'm out traveling? I tell people I'm from Jonesville, and they be like, "Where's that at?" Do you get that a lot?
I just tell everybody, I'm like, it's between Union and Spartanburg. If you know where those two are at, you just sit right in the middle. So
I say when I say that, I say Jones. Where's that at? I say right beside Union. And then for people that's older, they're related to another incident that happened many years ago, And I'm just like, yeah, that did happen in our area, but
Yes.
that doesn't reflect who we are as people. Having Miss Layla Hughes here with you, how does that feel to have like a young lady like her just to look up to you?
It really is the best feeling in the world, and just having somebody that I know looks up to me so much kind of makes me emotional, but she really is like a crucial part in my life. We have bonded so much ever since she has become my state star, and I really couldn't be any more thankful for her, and I'm very glad that I've had somebody to be a mentor towards. I've had the opportunity to inspire her, and she looks up to me like I'm her big sister, so it's really the best feeling in the world.
Is that part of the process to where every contestant has to have like a star with them? And
It's not a requirement. Everybody doesn't have to have a star, but it is optional, and I decided to pick Layla because I just love her so much.
Miss Layla, let me ask you another question. What's some of your favorite things to do?
A lot of things.
A lot of things. You like to play outside? You got a favorite hobby? Like you like to draw?
Don't you like making bracelets, don't you? She made me a few bracelets. It was so sweet.
How often are y'all actually like together, like doing activities?
I would say at least once or twice a week.
Okay.
So, and before, she's one of my students that I teach at dance. I'm an assistant dance teacher, and she's in one of my classes. So we see each other like that. And then we did our bedtime story series on Facebook Live, and she was with me for that. So she would come home with me, and we've had a few sleepovers at my house. Just spending time together.
Will she be able to come to any part of the pageant? When it takes place?
So pretty much the Palmetto State Star is with you most of the time, I think, except for rehearsal and stuff like that when we have to learn our opening number. But pretty much all the events they attend with you. So like at workshops, she was with me the whole time. We had this gala that we went to, but the only time we weren't really together is when we were doing like the crucial parts, like learning stuff leading up towards pageant week.
Okay. I saw a lot online. I was looking online at some of the stuff that you're doing. It's like you always, hands-on, being in the community and being very active. How often are you doing stuff, just to be involved in?
I really try to do it as much as possible because really with this title, it's given me opportunities that I probably wouldn't have been able to have if I wasn't in this pageant. So I've been able to interact more with people in my community, just really especially interacting with our youth, which I think is so important because in a few years there will be other girls in the same position that I'm in. So it's really, anytime I get the opportunity, I want to interact with as much people as possible from my community.
Just to go back a little bit, was this something that you were always, fascinated with? Because I know, like you said, part of you, being grown up in West Springs, in the country, I know, I grew up with your dad.
Yes.
And he was the best basketball player in our neighborhood. So we always, we in the country, we on the dirt roads, football, basketball. What type of things were you doing at an early age?
I was always fascinated with pageants, but I have danced. This is actually my 16th year of dance. I've been dancing basically since I've been out of the womb. So dance has always been a very big part of my life. I've cheered since a very young age, and I'm still a cheerleader. I was promoted to the varsity cheer squad in my 10th grade year, which I'm so grateful for. And although I have always been very fascinated with pageants, we just haven't always had the funds for me to be able to do them as frequently as I would like to. So I did the Miss Sims pageant back in 7th grade, and I won that. And I also did the Miss USA pageant last year. And now, since I've got the opportunity to do it with the Miss South Carolina organization, I decided to do it not only just for this reason, but one of the reasons is because they have so many great scholarship opportunities for all the delegates. So even for those who aren't crowned the Miss South Carolina's teen or Miss South Carolina, have the opportunity to get scholarships for anything really, just to better their future and help them out in the long run.
When you think about their very first pageant, what do you remember about being in the pageant at Sims? Like, what do you remember about those moments, and like how were you feeling like going through that?
So I really just remember being with all of my closest friends. Everybody was very close knit at Sims. So all of my friends is when we were very interested in this pageant. We did it together. We prepared together. We worked on our opening number together. It was just a lot of fun. I just remember spending such great quality time with my friends and us all stressing like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. And, oh, what did you say for this and what did you do for that? But it was all just really love at the end. We all enjoyed doing it together. Just a great experience.
How much does that, kind of help instill confidence in you? Because, at that age, you're with the kids in your school, so you pretty much, in our community, it's almost like everybody knows everybody. So how much does that help build your confidence now, being with them, knowing everybody, and now you're stepping into a totally different pageant where you're going to be in a new environment where you know some of the contestants, but you don't necessarily know everybody.
Yes.
Like, how does that work as far as like building your confidence?
So I would say that I still have the same mindset kind of from Sam's. Like, I'm very open to meeting new people. I love talking to people, learning new stuff about people. So my confidence is still the same as I would say from Sam's. Like, I'm just talking to people that I've known forever. So meeting them and conversating with them, it really does help with, I would say, the nervousness or the anxiousness, because you get to talk to some of your friends backstage and you're like, good luck, I hope you do well, or you're going to do great. Just encouraging each other how we would at Sam's. Like, I've known them for forever.
How does the students at school view you, because you're in these pageants? Of course, I saw you won maybe 3 homecoming queens.
Yes.
When people, I know when we were in school, a lot of times people were at times the quote unquote popular kids, like some of the kids who may not have got so much attention, they were kind of at times maybe like afraid to speak because they felt like maybe they weren't worthy, or they were afraid that the homecoming king or queen would be mean to them. But like, how do the students at school view you?
Well, based on past times where I've won homecoming princess, I would like to say that my peers look at me as a kind-hearted person, because I always do try to be kind to everyone that I meet, even if it's just smiling at somebody in the hallway, saying hey. A little goes a long way. So
Absolutely.
You never know what somebody may be going through. So I try my hardest just to be that nice person and spread kindness to whoever it may be, no matter if I know you or not, if I've seen you before. I just truly try to be nice to everyone that's in my school, because a part of being a homecoming representative is being a good role model and spreading that kindness and just being nice to everybody who gave you the opportunity to be homecoming princess.
Do you feel like it's you have to live up to certain expectations because you're Miss Teen Jones, you're homecoming queen, cheerleader? You have so many different accolades that you have already at a young age. For you, do you feel like it's like at times you may have to live up to a certain image because of everything that you're involved in?
I feel like I have set certain expectations for myself, so I definitely don't really live by stuff that people hold me up to, because I feel like being yourself is the best way to live. Right. So I live up to expectations and goals that I set for myself. So if anything, I'm always trying to be a better person. I'm trying to achieve this goal that I have set for myself further in life, or whether it's now. I'm always trying my best to strive and reach that goal.
Do you stay off of social media now? Because I would imagine now the expectations are a lot different. It may be a lot harder, like when we're speaking about expectations, like with social media, it's like nowadays everybody, when you look at it, it's like everybody has made it. They're already successful. Do you try to stay off of social media? How do you view it now? Because when we were growing up, kind of telling our age a little bit, the internet was around, but we didn't have when we were growing up, we had MySpace. And then towards my senior year in high school, then we were using Facebook, and then Instagram really began to grow as I got into college. So your age group, it's a lot more that you have to see.
Definitely.
And it can be a distraction, but do you try to stay off of social media, or how do you use it?
Honestly, now since I've entered the Miss South Carolina organization, I feel like social media has actually been very helpful and very useful with my journey, because a lot of stuff that we do, like stuff like this, people are able to watch and view stuff that we do as delegates with social media. So we also get to promote ourselves and our platforms through social media. So I would honestly say that it's very helpful, and I might have honestly been more on social media than I ever have since I have started with the Miss South Carolina organization and got the title of Miss Jonesville's teen. It's
definitely a great tool if you use it the right way. Like you said, you always have to be mindful of what you do and what you say, because you never know who's watching. talk a little bit, go back to your family roots for just a second. Like, what would you say is some of the things that your mom and your dad, what's some of those things that your family instilled in you at an early age?
So my mom has always told me that you only get one good first impression, and I believe that wholeheartedly, because when you meet somebody, you want them to think good of you. You want them to want to interact with you or keep seeing you or have further conversations with you in life. So having a good first impression is always a good thing, and I always keep that in the back of my mind. And I would also say another thing that my family has instilled in me is humbleness. I feel like humbleness is one of the things that you should always live with. See, like we were talking about earlier, how me getting the homecoming princess for the past 3 years, I have always been very humble about that, and I never want to let my success get into over my head and think, oh yeah, I got this, because at the end of the day, you know, everybody has their season, and sometimes stuff is made for us and sometimes it isn't. So I don't ever expect to win or to be successful, because sometimes you need failure in order to succeed.
Absolutely, and I can also add that confidence was something that they instilled in you, know, growing up with your dad, Peanut. I said I wasn't.
It's okay.
It's my bad.
It's all good.
I said I wasn't gonna do it, but your dad definitely was a great influence on my life, and you know, just being around him, like I said, the best basketball player in the neighborhood, and you know, him taking me under his wing, and my brother, just the confidence that's your side of his side instilled in you as well. So you definitely have some great influence. What do you like to do, like, just to get away from everything, because you have so much on your plate? What do you like to do in your free time just to like get away from everything?
Funny thing, this is what I also feel like was instilled in me. I love to cook.
Okay.
And you know, my daddy, he's a chef.
He's a chef, yep.
Anytime I get the chance, I'm now the cook of the house. So I will actually volunteer. I'll be like, Mama, what do you want to eat tonight? I will cook whatever, whenever. I love cooking, and I actually cooked for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I cooked the whole feast. Everything was amazing. I just love cooking. It's something very special to me. So I don't know if I will decide to go anywhere further in life with it, but if I ever do, then...
Yeah, I was going to ask you, could you see yourself, you know, potentially, you know, I know you have your own dreams and your goals that you want to achieve, but cooking, I was going to say, is that something that you might carry on in the family?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a definite no, but I do have some stuff that I've already planned for myself, planned my future in my head, and if it was to happen, then, you know, it's a great career, I believe. So cooking, I could definitely see myself doing it in the future.
Miss Layla, do you like to cook?
Help Mama.
Yeah, Mama.
Or do you like to eat?
Both.
Yeah,
What's your favorite thing to eat?
Everything.
Everything?
You like cookies, don't you? She's the first one in the cookie jar whenever she comes to the house, so.
And nothing wrong with cookies. For you, to have the support of your community and your family, what does that mean to you to have that support from everybody?
It's awesome. Just seeing how everybody really just kind of pushes out what I give to them. So when I see people reshare posts of things that I've posted, or if I see people donating to the things that we need for the pageant, like we had a fundraiser for the American Heart Association because Miss South Carolina has partnered with them this year, and I well over reached my goal, and that is so amazing knowing that people have decided to help me and support me on my journey. And it's just awesome seeing that you have people in your corner there to support you when you do awesome things such as pageants.
Absolutely. What do you look for most from the pageant? Like, what do you want to take away from that entire experience?
I really just think if I wasn't to win, I think building relationships with the girls, because one of the things that Miss South Carolina, well, the Miss America organization is all about is sisterhood, and I have experienced that firsthand already by making the friends that I have from workshop and just texting over social media, stuff like that. So really just the relationships. I want to stay in contact with these girls even after the pageant, going out to eat, you know, just conversating, telling each other about things that we do, just stuff like that.
Talk to me about like your mindset of like handling adversity, because I know it's a lot different now with social media. And like I said, you know, I guess, you know, you want everybody to like you, but for some reason, you know, with kids or just people in general, they may not, for whatever reason, even if they don't know you, they like to try to criticize. But how do you handle like criticism and adversity when it comes your way at such an early age?
I feel like I'm very, with constructive criticism, there's always things to work on. See, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So if somebody has a piece of advice for me, I'm very willing to take it. But sometimes you have people who just don't seem to have the same viewpoints as you, or just might not be very fond of you for whatever reason they may have. And that's just how the world is. So I've just learned how to deal with that, because not everybody's going to like you, and that's absolutely fine. And you don't have to believe in the things that I believe in, and I don't have to believe in things that you believe in. But we are different for the reason that the Lord made us. We are all born to be different. You have your opinions, and that's absolutely fine. So I just feel like I just carry on with them, and I just let people think what they should.
And as you get older, you'll realize, and you'll see a lot more people gonna talk about you regardless whether you're in the spotlight or whether you're not. For whatever reason, people they're just gonna feel some type of way, and it's not anything that you did personally. It's just something that they're dealing with internally.
Just a way of life.
It's just a way of life. So that's just gonna be, no matter what you do, that's just gonna happen. Is this something that you can carry on? I guess being in pageants. I think we did have a young lady. She was actually from Jonesville, but then I think she went to school in Clemson.
Okay.
I think Miss Dow. She's from Jonesville.
Yes.
And I think she was she Miss South Carolina? Or
she was, yes.
Miss South
she
Carolina?
was.
Okay. But she actually from Jonesville. I know she left at an early age. But so is this something that you plan to do, like, I guess, in college, or, going forward? Or?
I would definitely love to keep doing pageants as I move forward in life. But I think this year is my last year that I'll be able to qualify as a teen, so I would have to move on to the Miss category next. But I would definitely love to continue my pageant journey as I got older and be more involved. Even if I wasn't to win the pageant, I want to still be involved in stuff. So we plan on doing a Miss Jonesville pageant whenever we get done with this whole process, and I want to help and continue that legacy for generations to come. So yes, I would still love to be involved in pageantry.
So you get ready to move into your senior year. That's crazy.
I know.
Because I just still remember you being just so young, and it's hard to believe that so much time has just passed by. What are some of the goals that you have, going for your senior year, and then, after high school? What are some of those goals?
So really, I want to be involved in everything that I can possibly be involved in. I think that your senior year should be your most memorable, and it definitely is going to be for me. I just recently made the cheer team. I plan on doing teacher cadet, being in all the clubs that I can be in, and also just working on my education in order to better me for moving on to the career that I want. And I plan on working in gynecology, so I'm taking college classes. I just want to take everything that could be beneficial for me for my career.
Do you have a school in mind that you plan on going to
yes,
yet? Or?
I've had it in mind for years and years. I really do plan on going to USC Columbia, but I still want to keep my options open because I have a lot of college touring to do. I just want to keep an open mind just in case I change.
Nothing wrong with it. I went to school at USC Upstate, so I was just right up the road.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with that. It's always a great thing to go get your education, no matter where you go. That's definitely super important. I think I spoke with your mom about it. You saying that she mentioned that this was going to be this pageant. I think it's never been a Black Miss Teen South Carolina in about 20 plus years.
22 years.
22 years. When you hear that, how much motivation does that add to you, and what would it mean to
it's
be the first?
Really a lot of motivation. It has really boosted my motivation more than before because I want to be an example for girls who look like me, little girls who look like me, and want to go out and do things like this, like pageants. Really just being an example, setting an example for little girls, for the minority, that there can be another Black girl being Miss South Carolina's teen, although it may have been 20 plus years.
And is that a big responsibility, or does that add pressure, knowing that there hasn't been one in so long, and then because you're Black and you're in these pageants, do you feel like at times you have to carry yourself a certain way just because of the responsibility that comes with it?
Sometimes, but I feel like I do carry myself in a very poised way. So really just being myself, I feel like it's just enough. But just carrying myself so that young girls just like Layla see me and are like, oh, I can be just like her. I can do things that she does. I just really want to carry myself well so that the younger generation who will soon be in the same position that I'm in will have a good example for them.
We got a couple more questions and we'll wrap it up. Give us something to people watching this, because like I said, a lot of times for me and the things that I do, a lot of times when I'm covering professional athletes, people ask me how are they and different things. Like, and I tell them all the time, like, these people are human. They watch the same movies we watch, listen to the same music. They have families. They're human. Their financial situation might be different, but other than that, they're regular people. So people watching this, and even the students in school that are going to tune in to this interview, what are some things that they might not know that you like to do as a hobby, or what type of music that you like to listen to?
So really, one thing for me, one of the things being cooking, but I also really do like listening to music, just calming myself down. Sometimes we're people. Sometimes we just need to have a break, just get away from the world for a minute, take time to just cool down, and then get back to doing the things that we do. So listening to music is really good for me. I like all different types of music, so it really just depends on the day. But yeah, whatever I can do just to cool myself down. Sometimes I like going on walks by myself. I found that very calming. If I'm stressed about something, I'll go for a walk, listen to some music, or sometimes I won't. I'll just enjoy the nature around me and just be by myself.
Absolutely. I know you got a younger brother too. Like, how does he view you? Does he enjoy being around you?
I think he views me as a celebrity. He has told everybody that I'm going to the Miss South Carolina Teen Pageant and to support me. He is definitely my biggest supporter, and I love him so much. He supports me in anything that I do. He honestly looks at me like a superhero. I believe he is always there, even though, sometimes we have our sibling moments like everybody does. He is definitely my biggest supporter, and probably after my mom, well, it might be before my mom, I think he might be my biggest supporter.
It's a blessing to have that support system. How can we all support you? Is it voting, anything? Like, what can we do to make sure you get to where you want to go?
So we have the option to do a People's Choice. They have a People's Choice portion of the competition, and People's Choice automatically gets put in the top 15 for the competition. So I don't think they've sent out the link yet for you to vote, but everybody's able to go on there and vote for the person who they would like to win for People's Choice. So if y'all would be interested in voting for me, that would be amazing. I would be so very grateful if y'all decided to. But and just sharing posts, reposting stuff that I do throughout the community, stuff like that would be very supporting.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we add that to when the interview releases. We'll make sure we add a link to it so we can get out and vote as well, so everybody can make sure we support you the best way that we can.
Okay, thank you.
Looking at the schedule, it's like you have a lot of days on here. Have they already given you like a rundown of like everything that's going to go on those days?
We have a calendar full of dates. Our interview, on-stage interview, evening wear, everything that's going to be going on that week, we have it written down. So we're going to have to start getting prepared for that every day, laid out perfectly. But yeah, we got the whole competition schedule. We're all set.
Have you met anybody that you were like, man, I'm really in front of this person, or like it's like there's somebody that's been in the pageant in the past, or like have you come across anybody that you were shocked to meet?
Honestly, I would like to say I think Daja and Morgan, because they were our former Miss South Carolinas, and when I'm in front of them, I'm just like, oh my goodness. And they're so beautiful, and they carry themselves so nicely. I'm just like, there's no way that I'm actually standing in front of them right now. Like, it's a surreal experience.
Yeah, that's how I was. I tell the story all the time about how I saw Michael Jordan for the first time.
Yes.
That was crazy. This was my senior year. I'm aging myself. This was 10 years ago at Ohio State, and I was interning covering the Hornets. And one of my mentors, Coach Cox, took me to cover high school football with him, and one day we went to cover Charlotte Hornets basketball game. Long story short, after the game was ended, we went down, getting ready to go down to the locker room to interview the players and coaches. So we're walking down the hall this way, and next thing you know, Michael Jordan comes by the other way, and I'm just looking over my shoulder like, man, this is Michael Jordan right here, man. So this like the basketball guy right here. Yeah. So it's cool to be in those spaces, but like I said, I tell everybody all the time, like, just like you met those young ladies, like they're still human, and like I said, they're very relatable and down to earth, just like anybody else.
And also the same thing with Jada and Margaret. Even though Margaret, she was actually my roommate. She's the reigning Miss South Carolina Teen right now, but she was my roommate at the Miss South Carolina Teen USA pageant. But after seeing her win and her being so successful, it's just like, oh my goodness, she's done all this great stuff. And it's just kind of crazy to be like, I actually know somebody who's doing so well. And Jada, she's amazing. She's done an awesome job as Miss South Carolina. And it's really just like, oh my goodness, like I'm actually in the same area as all these women who've been Miss South Carolina, like past Miss South Carolina, Miss South Carolina's teen. It's just crazy.
Absolutely. Do you know how many total contestants are in the pageant?
If I think it's 34,
That's
not including me. So 35 in total, I believe. Either 34 or 35, but
okay.
it's a pretty good bit.
So, and everybody makes it all the way to Saturday, correct? Is that?
I think it's Saturday prelims and then.
That's just teams. That's not me. So
Wait, Friday is prelims and then Saturday is finals. So I think that's when they start cutting it down to 15, 10, and top 5
Okay.
on Saturday.
70 something, maybe close to 80 in all, like the whole.
Yeah, the whole class of 2024, so including the Miss and the Miss South Carolina teen. Well, the teen contestant.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was good. It's a great conversation. I'm glad because I like to have all this information so we know everything about getting the rundown of how it works.
Chaz, you
Oh,
really
yeah.
enjoy Chaz.
I was gonna say, Tanisha, if you want to come in, but is it now? Where is the pageant at? Is it in
Columbia.
In Columbia? Okay, so it's right around the corner though, so I'm definitely
Definitely.
looking forward to it. Are they gonna put it on TV or just something that we just? I know your mom will keep us posted on everything that's going on.
I think there is a certain website that you can go to. It might be on the Miss South Carolina website, but do they do it on Channel 7?
No, it's like an app that you have to. They do it
Okay.
on the local news in Columbia.
Okay.
Okay.
But they do an app that you have to connect to, like download and pay for to watch them.
Okay.
And then for the People's Choice, I think it's $1. Is it $1?
Yeah.
It's $1
Dollar each
per
vote.
vote. And then they'll put that up. They'll have like their video showing. They had to do like a little video.
Yeah.
They'll post those, and then you like go by the link and press it to put your money up, and whoever raises the most money for the People's Choice will automatically go to the
And they
next
do
round.
They do two this time. Last year they only did one, but they're going to do the 2 people with the most votes, and they will get moved to the top 15.
Okay, so we'll just make sure we have all of these links in here so we can keep track of everything. Like I said, I know your mom, she's definitely going to make sure we have everything. I got a couple more questions.
Okay.
For young ladies, young girls that maybe want to strive to be in your position or just go after their dreams in general, like what advice would you have for those young ladies?
I would just say be confident, believe in yourself. Don't focus on the things that people may say about you because, like we were talking about earlier, everybody has their opinions on you, whether they're good or bad. Just whatever you think, it's all about what you think because at the end of the day, it's what you're doing, it's what you're going to do with your future. So just always having a positive mindset as well. We've in our family, we always say what you put out is what you're given. So putting out positive energy, putting out positivity about yourself. So don't say things that could throw you down or make you think negatively about yourself. So always putting positivity in your life, repeatedly telling yourself that I'm good enough, I can do this, I will succeed. Stuff like that will really boost your confidence, and confidence is one of the key things about doing things like this.
Absolutely. And then I want to ask you, I know I asked you about having a supportive family and your community behind you, but just talk about the great job that your parents, Tanisha and Tori, like the impact that they've had. Like, what do those two specifically mean? Excuse me. What do those two specifically mean for you on your journey?
So I really just do think, like how earlier we were talking about, they instilled confidence in me, and I think that was really one of the crucial parts to this because having people who are in your corner that are positive and encouraging you and giving you the opportunity to do stuff like this. Like, I'm so grateful that my family was able to put me in spaces like this where I'm able to be a part in pageants and do activities like this. So I'm really grateful that they did that for me, and they've always been so supportive. So just simple stuff like telling me, you got this, I know you can do this, you're amazing, stuff like that. Sometimes all you do need is your parents. So just having them be there and support is an awesome thing.
Absolutely. And I can honestly tell you, I know they both love you, they're proud of you. And like I said, when I look at you, I see your dad like all day long, and just I can only imagine the things that he meant for me and my journey in my life. I can only imagine the same thing he's meant for you as well as your mom. And I met your mom because of your dad. Yeah. But man, it's like, to me, it's still surreal to just see how much you've grown and how you get ready, to move on and get ready to transition, do the next things in life after high school. But definitely enjoy that moment of high school.
Yes.
Don't rush it
at all,
because there's no rush at all. You're not missing anything. You're gonna have a great time because, like I said, after those moments of high school, once you graduate, everybody tends to go their separate ways. So definitely enjoy those moments of high school. Those are the best days of your life. And also, I will say this, I'll add this, even with the pageant, win or lose, which I believe in, you're going to win it. You're definitely going to win it.
Oh, thank you.
But throughout the whole process, just enjoy the whole process, enjoy the moment. And I had to tell myself, it's over 8 billion people in the world, but God gave you this gift for a reason. So he chose you. He could have gave this to anybody else, but he chose you specifically to be in this pageant. So I would definitely say, enjoy this moment. Keep your head up, and you're gonna win it.
Thank
but
you.
Just stay confident, and just throughout the whole process, just enjoy it, because like I said, that gift could have been given to anybody else, but God gave it to you for a reason. So cherish it and always uplift everybody. So Peanut, I said it again. Peanut, thank you again.
Thank you.
Miss Layla Hughes, thank you again. Do you have anything you want to say to anybody that's watching this interview?
Thank you for support me.
Absolutely. Before we get out of here, do you have any type of social media or anything that you want to give out so people can keep
Yes. Y'all can go follow me.
I eating them cookies.
Y'all can go follow me at Miss Jonesville's Teen 2024 on Facebook and on Instagram. I post everything that I do, stuff like this. Will be posted on both pages. So yeah, just go follow that for more updates and stuff such as People's Choice. We will let y'all know on my page, and just for any updates regarding the pageant.
Absolutely. We'll make sure we keep everybody up to date. We're gonna add everything in the description on the interview for YouTube. Also, I think it starts off June the 24th is when it kicks off, and then all the way through Saturday, June 29th. But we'll make sure we have everything in the description as well. So Peanut, thank you. Miss Layla Hughes-Woods, thank you as well. And hopefully everybody enjoyed this episode of Cross the Line Podcast. Till next time, keep chasing dreams. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye y'all.